Hello friends, welcome back. As you know, my name is Shashikant Ubute and I have given 6 attempts, and in the 4 out of 6 attempts I have scored more than 130. Now this will be our third discussion. In the first discussion I shared my strategy on how to score more than 130 marks, and in second discussion we discussed the ways to fill the UPSC prelims form, and now we will be discussing do's and don'ts which you should follow in your UPSC prelims preparation so that you clear the prelims examination with a very good score. Okay, if you have not seen our previous video, their link will be available in the description. Okay, whenever you get time, you see those videos first. You will get benefit from that video. The video where I shared my strategy on how to score more than 130. Now we will discuss our today's topic, where we will discuss do's and don'ts in our UPSC preparation. Okay, firstly we will discuss some do's. Okay, the most important do is whenever you solve a test, solve around 85 to 90 questions. Don't go beyond 90. If you think that paper is very easy, then you can go beyond 90. If you don't think so, you can restrict to 90, at max 90. And you should not go below 85 because you know that the exam is all about clearing the prelims, and if you want to clear prelims handsomely, you need to score at least 120 marks. And if you want to score at least 120 marks, at least 60 questions should be right. Absolute 60 questions should be right. So if you attempt 60 questions, the probability of having all the 60 correct may not be always possible. Like you may not be able to score, you may not be able to solve all the questions correctly. Okay, in that case you should solve more than 75 questions. But in general, 85, an attempt of 85, around 85 will be good, more than sufficient. Okay, this is the first. Second, the most important source as far as prelims preparation is concerned is Atlas. Every year at least 3 to 4 questions will be there from Atlas, and Atlas helps you in other way as well, in history, in geography, in like history, geography, environment, in many different way it can help you. So go through Atlas whenever you get bored. Okay, read or watch Atlas maps at least thrice a day. Okay, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or whenever you get bored, just go through Atlas. Third, you need to go through previous year questions. As we have already discussed that previous year questions are the foundation to know how UPSC is asking questions, like what UPSC demands or expects from an aspirant. Okay, whenever you go through your standard material, once you go through previous year questions, you will come to know what kind of questions UPSC asks and what are the lacunas in your preparation, or what else you need to study. Okay, if you go through previous year questions, you will come to know what you need to study more. Okay, now the third important is you need to prepare some maps. In general, there are some recurrent issues that UPSC every year asks. Okay, national parks, then world heritage sites, then biosphere reserves, critically endangered species. You can make map on these things: biosphere reserves, critically endangered species, national parks and wildlife, world heritage sites, because these are limited. Biosphere reserve, if you take biosphere reserve, around 20 biosphere reserves are there. If you take critically endangered species, not more than maybe 30 or 40 species might be there. If you consider mammals, then avian species, then those species living in water, if you consider all these species, not more than 40 or 50 species. Then national parks, though there are more than let us say around 100 national parks, but you can remember around at least 30-40 national parks which are very, very important. Okay, and then world heritage sites, I think there are 38 or 39 world heritage sites. You can remember these things, draw their maps and paste those maps in front of you, in front of, let us say, your desk or table, wherever you want to paste those maps, and prepare your own maps. Then one more do is read India Airbook once and make some notes. Okay, important notes. Let us say if you go through a particular ministry, let us say environment ministry, then just read how the ministry is structured, what are its important roles, and how those roles are fulfilled, what are the important conventions that the government has signed, and how the government is what do we say, following those treaties. So in India Yearbook, India the topic on environment, the topic on welfare schemes or welfare ministry, those topics are important. And in general, India Yearbook as a whole is a very good source for your prelims preparation, especially regarding the government and the government structures and the government's functions, okay, and the role of various ministries. So India Yearbook is one of very significant source. Just go through once, make some important notes as per your understanding. Okay. Then part 2 of economic survey. Part 2 of economic survey is very important as far as your basic economic conceptual understanding, okay, through the tables, the table on, let us say, the table on fiscal deficit, the table on, let us say, balance of payment. Those tables, if you go through their index, you will come to know about the concept. What is balance of payment, what is added in the balance of payment, what are the components of the balance of payment. In that way you can understand. So the economic survey is important in other aspect as well, because economic survey will give you the sources of various indices. Let us say there is a table on wholesale price index, just below the table the source will be mentioned. Similarly, whichever table you take, you will get the sources. One more thing is important, that it covers many recent schemes that the government has come with on various things. Okay, it has various chapters like industry, agriculture, then environment. On those topics, what the government schemes have been, those things will be covered. Okay, that's the importance of economic survey part 2. Then whenever you get bored, especially the concepts of environment and economy, they are not easy to understand. So in that case, what you can do, you can search those concepts on YouTube and watch 2, 3, 4 or at max 10 minutes animated interactive videos to understand those concepts. Okay, whenever you get bored, in case of environment and economy, you can use YouTube to understand those concepts. Okay, these are some do's. Now we will discuss some don'ts. Now you need to have limited sources. Don't complicate your sources. What happens, someday we'll hear upon someone that, array, this is a very good source, we should read this, or this is a new addition to current affair, we should read this, this is a new way of understanding, let us say, geography, environment or something, we will buy it. No, don't unnecessarily complicate your sources. Okay, keep them simple, revise them again and again. Only then you will think that, yeah, it's possible for me to complete the syllabus. If you complicate your sources, then every time you will be under pressure that when will I finish my books. There are the days are passing, the time is passing, the exam is coming closer and closer, and still I am unable to read my books or unable to complete the syllabus. If you complicate things, then there will be problems. So don't complicate your sources. Then secondly, don't waste your time on some things which are of no significant importance. There is no significant importance of something. Some things which you should practically ignore. Let us say, every year there is a question on wildlife sanctuary. Okay, in general, how many wildlife sanctuaries are there? There are more than 500 wildlife sanctuaries. If you want to remember, you can't remember all the wildlife sanctuaries. So don't waste your time on remembering all the wildlife sanctuaries. Don't waste your time on remembering all the GI tags. Don't waste your time on remembering all the festivals or dances or unique features of a particular state, like folk dance, folk art. Don't invest a lot of time, because anyway, if you want to read these are not limited things. These are very exhaustive things. So if you exhaust your time on this, hardly 1 or 2 questions will be asked, and anyway you can easily solve those questions based on your, let us say, logic. But if you invest your time on these, anyway you will waste your precious time, and you may not get the required returns if you invest your time on these things. So it's better to avoid these things. For these things, whatever comes in the current affairs, whichever current affairs source you are reading, whatever comes in the current affairs, whether it is a wildlife sanctuary, GI tag, festivals, dances, you rely on current affairs for these things, rather than going through all the wildlife sanctuaries, all the GI tags, okay, and all the festivals and all those things and dances. Don't invest your a lot of time on this. Okay. Then next don't is don't overstretch yourself. Okay, in general what happens, some people they are night riders, they study throughout the night. Some people they have like a disturbed lifestyle, they sleep at their wish, or like when at any time they can sleep, at any time they can wake up. So you should not have that kind of let us say what I will say a difficult lifestyle. You should have simple lifestyle, sleep well, sleep continuously for 6-7 hours, then study well, then again sleep well. You should have a scheduled structure as far as your daily lifestyle is concerned. Don't change your lifestyle, because if you get weak or if you fall sick, then it's your loss. Okay, anyway the competition is very tough, more than 3 lakh people are giving this examination, and if you fail sleep or sick, or if you become weak, then it's your loss, not others. Okay, so keep yourself healthy at all the times, during preparation as well as during the exam. Then the next don't is don't rely completely on the tricks. Yeah, tricks are there, it's not like the tricks are not there, but tricks are not the ultimate solution. Before tricks, you need to understand you should be conceptually clear, your concept should be clear, only then tricks will help you. Okay, and with your progress, like with your everyday solving questions, or like your ability to solve question, your regular practice will help you in identifying your own tricks. This is not like that there are some universal tricks which will help you in like clearing the examination. So nothing in this world or nothing in this preparation is universal, so subjectivity is there. As far as tricks is concerned, firstly focus on your conceptual understanding, and through practice you will come to know your own tricks. Okay, then next is whenever you solve a test, especially like full syllabus test, avoid unknown questions, completely unknown questions. There would be some questions which are completely unknown, you have never ever seen the words in the question or the question itself in any of your sources, whether it is current affair, whether it is your standard books or other sources. You have not seen that question. At least at the start you should avoid this question. If you are unable to attempt more than 70 questions, you can attempt such questions, but in the last, not at the start. If you waste your time on such questions at the start, anyway one thing will happen, you will waste your time. Secondly, you may not be sure whether the question will be right or wrong, and thirdly, if you waste time on this question, the time which is required to solve other questions will be limited. In that case, you may do silly mistakes in easy questions, or it may happen that you may not be able to solve easy questions. So it's better to focus on easy and straightforward questions rather than solving a question where you don't know anything. It's better to avoid such questions. Okay, this is from me, or if you have any other query, if you have any doubt, and if you want to say something, then you can mail us directly on the official mail ID which is provided in the description. And I hope you all the best for prelims preparation.